You ever notice how some people can sit outside on like a summer evening and not get a single mosquito bite,
Yeah.
while others like me are like a walking mosquito buffet?
Mm-hmm.
It's like those little vampires have a sixth sense, for finding their next meal.
Right.
So today we're diving deep into the science behind why mosquitoes love some people more than others.
Yeah.
We're going to be unpacking a fascinating article from Simple Pest Management called Why Are Mosquitoes So Attracted to You?
Okay.
And hopefully by the end of this, you'll be armed with all the knowledge you need to avoid being their next feast.
It's definitely a question that has puzzled people for centuries.
Right, so let's start with the basics.
Okay.
We've all heard that mosquitoes are drawn to carbon dioxide and warmth, right?
Yeah.
But is that really all there is to it?
Well, it's definitely true that mosquitoes are incredibly sensitive to carbon dioxide.
Right.
They can actually sense the plumes of CO2 we exhale from quite a distance,
Wow.
which is how they zero in on their targets in the first place.
Yep. So even just breathing is like sending out a dinner invitation.
Exactly.
And when you factor in body temperature, it makes sense why pregnant women who tend to have slightly higher body temperatures are often targeted more frequently.
They are definitely a target.
That makes a lot of sense, but I've always wondered if there's something more to it than just CO2 and heat.
Yeah.
What about like our scent? Does that play a role?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Body odor is actually a huge factor.
really.
And it's not just about how much we sweat,
Oh.
but also the specific compounds present in our sweat that make us more or less appealing to mosquitoes.
Okay, so let's break this down.
Sure.
What exactly is it about our body odor that they find so irresistible?
Things like lactic acid ammonia and certain carboxylic acids
Ah,
act like powerful attractants for mosquitoes.
okay.
They have specialized receptors that are highly attuned to these compounds.
So basically, if I go for a run and work up a good sweat,
Yeah.
I'm basically sending out a mosquito beacon.
Pretty much, yes.
Oh, this is getting scary. So it's not just our sweat,
No.
but also something deeper, like our blood type, right?
Mhm.
I heard that can play a role too.
You're right.
Okay.
There's been research showing that mosquitoes, particularly the Aedes aegypti species,
Right.
actually have preferences for certain blood types.
All right, this is the part I've been waiting for. Tell me, what's the deal with blood types?
Yeah.
Is there really one that's like a mosquito magnet?
According to a study,
Mm-hmm.
people with type B blood seem to be the most attractive to these mosquitoes,
Wow.
followed by type O.
Okay.
Those with type A, B, and A appear to be the least attractive.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we need more research to confirm this
Right.
and see if it applies to other types of mosquitoes.
Exactly.
But it's still pretty wild to think that something like blood type could make such a difference.
It really is fascinating.
But wait, it gets even weirder. Apparently, even the bacteria on our skin can play a role.
That's right. The composition of our skin microbiome.
Okay.
All those tiny bacteria living on our skin can actually influence our attractiveness to mosquitoes.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. I never would have thought about that.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, it all comes down to the odors that these bacteria produce.
Okay.
Studies have shown that a simpler skin microbiome with fewer types of bacteria actually produces odors that are more appealing to mosquitoes.
Oh.
On the other hand, a more diverse microbiome with a wider variety of bacteria
Okay.
creates a more complex mix of odors, and this actually helps to mask the ones that mosquitoes find irresistible.
So it's not necessarily about being squeaky clean,
No.
but more about having a thriving, diverse community of bacteria on our skin.
Exactly.
That is so surprising.
Yeah.
You might think good hygiene would make you less attractive to mosquitoes,
Right?
but it's actually the opposite.
Yeah, you would think that.
Okay, so we've covered CO2, body odor, blood type, and now even the invisible world of bacteria on our skin. This is blowing my mind. So what other surprises are in store?
Well, there's one more interesting factor, the color of our clothing.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah,
Our fashion choices matter to mosquitoes.
they do.
What?
Darker colors like black or navy blue
Yeah.
actually make you more visible to mosquitoes, especially against lighter backgrounds.
Really?
Yeah, their vision is very attuned to contrast.
Okay.
So dark clothing creates a more distinct silhouette that they can easily spot.
So wearing light clothing could actually help me avoid those bites.
It could.
Who would thought?
It's true.
Okay, so we've uncovered all the reasons why mosquitoes might be targeting you.
Mm-hmm.
But now, for the good news,
Okay.
how can we actually fight back?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
It is. Let's dive into some solutions.
Okay. The article from Simple Pest Management actually has some great tips,
Okay.
and I can add to that with some insights from the latest research.
Perfect. Let's hear it. What's the best way to keep those mosquitoes at bay?
First and foremost, insect repellents are your best friend. Look for products containing deep picaridin, or oil of lemon eucalyptus. These have been proven to be the most effective at repelling mosquitoes.
Okay, good to know. I've seen those natural repellents too,
Yeah.
like citronella candles and essential oils. Do those really work?
Well, they might offer some temporary relief, but the research on their effectiveness isn't as strong.
Okay.
They generally don't provide the same level of protection as those other repellents I mentioned.
Gotcha. So deep D it is. What else can we do?
Wearing light-colored clothing, as we discussed, can definitely help.
Right.
And it's crucial to eliminate any standing water around your home.
Okay.
That's where mosquitoes breed. So make sure to empty any containers like flower pots or bird baths regularly.
Right. Standing water is basically a mosquito nursery.
Exactly.
What about things like screens on windows?
Screens are a great idea.
Okay.
They create a physical barrier to keep mosquitoes out of your home.
Mm-hmm.
And using fans, both indoors and outdoors, can help too.
Okay.
The air currents make it harder for mosquitoes to fly and land on you.
Those are all great tips, but what if you've tried everything and you're still getting eaten alive?
Right.
Is there any hope for those of us who are just mosquito magnets?
Well, in those cases, it might be time to call in the professionals.
Yep.
Pest control companies like Simple Pest Management have specialized treatments that can really target mosquito populations and make a big difference.
Okay, so there's always backup if we need it. This has been such an eye-opening deep dive.
Yeah, it has.
I'm already feeling better equipped to deal with those pesky mosquitoes this summer.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I'm curious about something you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
The idea that a more diverse skin microbiome can actually make you less attractive to mosquitoes.
Right.
That really caught my attention. I'm wondering, what can we actually do to encourage a healthier, more diverse microbiome on our skin?
That's a great question, and it's an area of ongoing research.
Okay.
There are a few things that might help,
Yeah.
but we need more studies to know for sure.
Well, let's hear what we know so far.
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
First, it's important to avoid overuse of harsh soaps and antibacterial products.
Okay.
While good hygiene is important, constantly stripping away the natural oils and bacteria on our skin can actually disrupt the balance of our microbiome.
So it's about finding that balance between being clean and not being too clean.
Exactly.
Okay.
And spending time in nature can be beneficial too.
Oh.
Gardening, hiking, even just being around animals, all of these things expose us to a wider range of microbes,
Okay.
which may contribute to a more diverse skin microbiome.
It's like we're constantly interacting with and exchanging microbes with the world around us.
That's right.
Wow.
And lastly, diet plays a role.
Okay.
Eating a variety of fruits, vegetables, and fermented foods can support the growth of beneficial bacteria in our gut, and that can indirectly influence the diversity of our skin microbiome as well.
Ah, so it all comes back to gut health.
It does.
I'm sensing a theme here. It's amazing how interconnected everything is in our bodies.
It really is.
But speaking of connections, I think we need to take a step back for a minute. Okay. And consider the bigger picture here. We've been focusing on how to avoid getting bitten.
Right.
But why are mosquitoes such a problem in the first place?
That's a really important point.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes are more than just a nuisance. They're actually considered one of the deadliest animals on Earth.
Wait, deadliest? Really?
Yes, it's true. They transmit a wide range of diseases,
Wow.
including malaria, dengue fever, Zika virus, West Nile virus, and many others.
Wow.
These diseases affect millions of people worldwide,
Yeah.
especially in tropical and subtropical regions.
That's a scary thought. It's easy to forget that these tiny creatures can carry such dangerous diseases.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So while avoiding those itchy bites is a personal priority,
Mhm.
it's also important to understand the global health implications of mosquito-borne illnesses.
Absolutely. And it makes all this research we've been discussing even more important.
Mm-hmm.
The more we understand about mosquitoes and how to control them, the better equipped we'll be to prevent the spread of these diseases.
Precisely. There's a lot of fascinating research happening right now looking at everything from new repellents and insecticides
Wow.
to genetic modification techniques that could reduce mosquito populations or their ability to transmit diseases.
It's incredible to think about all the science and innovation being applied to this problem.
It really is, and it highlights how even simple actions like wearing repellent and eliminating standing water can contribute to a larger effort to protect public health.
That's a great point. This deep dive has given us a whole new perspective on mosquitoes.
It has.
They're more than just a summertime annoyance. They're a complex and fascinating species with a big impact on human health.
Couldn't agree more.
It's a good reminder that even the creatures we find annoying have a role to play.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything there is to know about mosquitoes.
We have.
Why they love some people more than others, the risks they pose, and most importantly, how we can protect ourselves.
Right.
And hopefully our listeners are feeling a lot more knowledgeable and a lot less likely to be a mosquito's next meal. Absolutely.
But remember, there's always more to learn.
Yeah.
So as you head out into the world armed with all this new mosquito wisdom, remember to approach those buzzing creatures with a healthy mix of caution and respect.
Well said.
Who knows? Maybe next time you encounter a mosquito, you'll see it not just as a bloodthirsty pest, but as a tiny but fascinating creature playing its part in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. And with that in mind, until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay bite-free.
And if you have any burning questions, intriguing discoveries, or just want to share your mosquito woes, we're always here to dive deep with you. Thanks for joining us on this epic mosquito adventure.